The Ark of the Covenant, a legendary artifact that's inspired countless quests and captured imaginations for millennia. But what if this ancient relic holds more significance as an idea than a physical object?
That's an intriguing perspective. Can you elaborate on why you think the Ark might be more powerful as a concept?
Well, it's fascinating how this single object has come to embody so much meaning across cultures and time. The Ark represents this intersection of faith, history, and mystery that continues to captivate us. Whether or not the physical artifact still exists, the idea of the Ark remains incredibly powerful.
That's an interesting point. So, what exactly was the Ark of the Covenant according to biblical accounts?
According to the Old Testament, the Ark was an ornate chest made of acacia wood and covered in pure gold. It was said to contain the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments given to Moses by God on Mount Sinai. But it was much more than just a container. It was believed to be the earthly throne of God himself.
And I imagine it had some pretty incredible powers attributed to it, right?
Oh, absolutely. The Bible describes the Ark performing all sorts of miraculous feats. It's said to have parted rivers, leveled mountains, and even destroyed entire armies. One of the most famous stories involves the Ark being carried around the walls of Jericho, causing them to crumble after 7 days of circumambulation.
Wow, that's quite impressive. So how long was the Ark a part of ancient Israelite worship practices?
Well, the Ark played a crucial role in Israelite religion for several centuries. After its construction at the foot of Mount Sinai, it was carried through the wilderness during the Exodus. Eventually, it found a home in the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, where it remained for hundreds of years. The high priest would approach it only once a year on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement.
So what happened? How did such an important religious artifact simply vanish?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The last reliable mention of the Ark in the historical record dates to around 586 BCE. This coincides with the Babylonian conquest of Jerusalem and the destruction of the First Temple. After that, it mysteriously disappears from history.
And I imagine that disappearance kicked off quite a search. How long have people been looking for the lost Ark?
Oh, the search has been ongoing for over 2,500 years now. It's one of the longest-running quests in human history. Crusaders, adventurers, archaeologists, and treasure hunters have all tried their hand at locating this elusive artifact. The Ark has inspired everything from serious scholarly research to wild speculation and popular fiction.
It's incredible how the allure of the Ark has endured across cultures and centuries. What do you think gives it such lasting appeal?
Well, I believe it's a combination of factors. For Jews and Christians, the Ark represents a tangible link to God, a physical manifestation of divine presence on earth. It's a powerful symbol of faith. But even for non-believers, the Ark embodies this tantalizing historical mystery. There's also the promise of untold power and riches that finding such a legendary artifact might bring.
That makes sense. It really does sit at this fascinating intersection of faith, history, and adventure. Now, over the centuries, there have been countless theories about what happened to the Ark. What are some of the most prominent ideas?
Well, one common theory is that the Ark was destroyed or looted when Jerusalem fell to the Babylonians. Some believe it might have been carried off to Babylon as a trophy of war, though interestingly, it's not mentioned in the detailed lists of temple treasures taken by the Babylonians. Another popular idea is that it's hidden somewhere beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, concealed by priests before the Babylonian invasion.
Those are some intriguing theories. Are there any other notable ideas about where the Ark might be?
Oh, absolutely. One of the most fascinating theories comes from Ethiopia. According to Ethiopian tradition, the Ark was brought to their country by Menelik I, the supposed son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. This legend claims the Ark has been kept in the city of Axum ever since.
That's quite a journey from Jerusalem to Ethiopia. Has anyone ever tried to verify this claim?
As a matter of fact, yes. In 1989, a British journalist named Graham Hancock made headlines when he announced that he believed he had found the Ark in Ethiopia. Hancock claimed to have traced the Ark's journey from Jerusalem to Egypt and finally to Axum in Ethiopia.
So if the Ark is there, why hasn't it been revealed to the world?
Well, that's where things get tricky. According to Ethiopian Orthodox tradition, the Ark is guarded by a single monk who is chosen for life. This guardian is the only person allowed to see the Ark, and he can never leave the chapel grounds. The Ethiopian Church refuses to allow any outside examination of whatever is in that chapel.
That certainly adds to the mystery. But I have to ask, what do scholars think about Hancock's claims?
Most academic scholars are quite skeptical of Hancock's theory. While it's an intriguing idea, there's no hard evidence to support it. The timeline doesn't quite add up either. The city of Axum didn't exist in Solomon's time. However, the lack of concrete proof hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of many who believe the Ark might be in Ethiopia.
It's fascinating how these theories persist even without solid evidence. Have there been any archaeological efforts to locate the Ark?
Oh, there have been numerous archaeological expeditions over the years, but none have turned up conclusive evidence of the Ark's fate. One of the most famous was the Parker expedition in 1909-1911. Captain Montague Parker, a British adventurer, led a team that dug tunnels beneath Jerusalem in search of the Ark.
That sounds like quite an undertaking. What was the outcome of Parker's expedition?
Well, it was a disaster, to put it mildly. Parker's team bribed officials to allow them to excavate near the Dome of the Rock, one of Islam's holiest sites. When their activities were discovered, it caused a huge uproar. Parker and his men had to flee the country, and the incident set back archaeological efforts in the region for decades.
Wow, that's quite a cautionary tale. It really highlights the sensitive nature of searching for religious artifacts, especially in such a historically and spiritually significant area.
Absolutely. The search for the Ark isn't just an archaeological endeavor. It's fraught with religious, political, and cultural implications. This is particularly true in Jerusalem, where any excavation on the Temple Mount is an extremely delicate matter due to its importance to Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
Given all these challenges, do you think the Ark will ever be found?
That's a tough question to answer. The honest truth is, we may never know what happened to the Ark of the Covenant. After more than 2,500 years, any physical evidence would be incredibly difficult to verify. And in many ways, the Ark has transcended its physical form to become a powerful symbol.
A symbol of what exactly?
I'd say it's become a symbol of humanity's enduring search for meaning and connection to the divine. The Ark represents this intersection of faith, history, and mystery that continues to captivate us. Whether or not the physical object still exists, the idea of the Ark remains incredibly powerful.
That's a fascinating perspective. Do you think that if the Ark were to be discovered today, it would have a significant impact on the world?
Oh, without a doubt. If the Ark were to be found and verified, it would be an earth-shattering discovery. It would have enormous implications for the Abrahamic religions and potentially reshape our understanding of ancient history. The geopolitical ramifications would be staggering, especially if it were found in a contested area like Jerusalem.
But on the flip side, could finding the Ark potentially be detrimental in some ways?
That's an intriguing question. There's an argument to be made that definitively finding the Ark might actually diminish its power in some ways. Part of what makes the Ark so captivating is the mystery surrounding it. If we knew exactly where it was and what happened to it, would it lose some of that hold over our collective imagination?
That's a really interesting point. The power of faith and mystery shouldn't be underestimated. Perhaps the Ark is more valuable as an idea than as a physical object at this point.
Exactly. And even if a golden chest were to be discovered tomorrow, how could we ever prove beyond a doubt that it was the actual Ark of the Covenant? After thousands of years, any physical evidence would be incredibly hard to verify conclusively.
So in a way, the search for the Ark has become almost as significant as the object itself?
I think that's a great way to look at it. The quest for the Ark of the Covenant embodies humanity's endless curiosity and our desire to connect with something greater than ourselves. It represents our need for wonder and our timeless quest to understand the unknowable.
Well said. It's a powerful reminder of how myths and legends can shape our understanding of the world and drive us to explore and discover.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the past either. The story of the Ark and the ongoing search for it tells us something about who we are as human beings. It speaks to our desire for tangible proof of the divine, our fascination with hidden knowledge, and our hope that there are still great mysteries left to be solved in the world.
It's amazing how a single object can embody so much meaning and inspire such passion across millennia. Do you think the search for the Ark will ever truly end?
I doubt it. Even if conclusive evidence of the Ark's fate were to be discovered, I suspect there would always be those who continue to search or who dispute the findings. The Ark has become such a powerful symbol that it's taken on a life of its own, beyond its physical existence.
That's a great point. The Ark seems to represent something fundamental about the human experience, this tension between faith and evidence, between the known and the unknown.
Exactly. And in many ways, that ongoing tension is more valuable than any golden chest could ever be. It drives us to question, to seek, to wonder. And those are fundamentally human traits that have propelled us forward throughout history.
So, whether or not the Ark still exists somewhere, its legacy continues to shape our world in profound ways.
Absolutely. The Ark of the Covenant may remain lost to history, but the human desire for discovery and meaning that it represents is very much alive. And who knows, maybe someday, in some hidden cave or buried chamber, someone will uncover the truth about this enduring mystery.
Until then, we'll keep wondering, searching, and imagining. It's been fascinating exploring this topic with you today.
Indeed it has. The story of the Ark reminds us that some of the most powerful forces in our world are the ones we can't see or touch. Faith, mystery, and the endless human drive to understand our place in the universe. And on that note, we'll wrap up this episode. Thanks for joining us on this journey into one of history's greatest enigmas.
Thanks for listening, Extraterrestrial Mysteries. Until next time, keep wondering and keep searching.